In this video, I'm going to give you my unbiased opinion on 3 spreaders that I personally own. I'm not receiving any compensation for this review, and I hope you can use this information to make a decision of which spreader that you purchase for yourself. The first one we're looking at here is a Scotts Turf Builder EdgeGuard Deluxe. This particular unit is about 3 years old, and the EdgeGuard lever there is used to move this little orange flapper that kind of blocks the material from going to the right hand side. And the concept is, if you want to keep your fertilizer or grass seed off of a sidewalk or out of the shrubbery, you throw that lever and it makes a nice fine line. That part does work very well, so I'll give the engineers an A+ for that. I also do like the adjustable wheel right here with the numbers, and what that's doing is that is setting a mechanical stop that controls how far that throat opens up when you pull the spring-loaded lever. I also like the spring-loaded lever that you pull it back to open it, and when you release it, it closes all on its own. That's a really nice feature. I think the hopper itself is very well designed as well. We'll talk about some defects later. This is the Earthway spreader that we're reviewing. This one has, the adjustment is not as nice in my opinion. It's not spring-loaded. It's set and forget, kind of like cruise control. And then it has an adjustable slider here that you have to move to control how far it opens up. And there are the 3 holes there that open up. Again, you vary how far it opens by how far you push that lever forward. So it works, but it would be really nice if this were a spring-loaded design similar to the Scotts. It has a very well-built hopper. Take note of where the rotary slinger, I'm not sure what that's called, is in relationship to the wheels. Notice how it is above the wheels. What's nice about that is it doesn't come in, your fertilizer or your seed does not come in contact with the wheels. However, on the Scotts, it is directly in line with those wheels, and those wheels, when it's wet, they will actually, you'll get a lot of fertilizer that'll stick inside of there instead of going on the lawn. And what I'm showing you here is that these wheels, this is really the defect of this spreader. I've had this thing where I'm going along the yard and all of a sudden the wheels fell off. I called Scotts about it. They were nice enough to send me out new wheels, but you know what? Even the new ones did the same thing. So this fertilizer here is going in the giveaway pile. It's going to end up at the thrift store at the end of this video. So it's only 3 years old, and as far as I'm concerned, it's not worth the money. The Earthway spreader is only a year old, but I can tell that it's going to hold up a lot better. And granted, it was quite a bit more money, but it's a very nice spreader. Here's another shot of the 3 spreaders that I'm reviewing today. The one on the far left is the Scotts drop spreader, and believe it or not, that thing is about, I bet it's 20 years old, and it's just a really rugged design, very simple. That little bar down the middle there has those little fingers on it, and when it's connected to the wheels, and when you pull it forward, those turn. There's a little, it's hard to see, but there's a little latch in the back that's connected to that guy, and there's numbers on that basically control how far you open up the throat to allow the fertilizer to come out. What's nice is there's holes all along the bottom there. It works very well for Scotts brand fertilizer, which is really fine. And you can see how you can vary the opening right there. This is ideal for seeding a lawn and for fertilizing if you have a really small lawn and you want to buy one spreader. This is the one to buy, in my opinion. If you have a bigger lawn, it's I probably wouldn't recommend it because it's going to take a lot longer to spread the fertilizer. Here's an in-action view of how the bar rotates and the little fingers come around, and it spreads it out really nice and evenly.
It's nice as you can see the path. It'd be hard to tell in the video, but the tires make marks. And then there's an arrow here to align the next tire mark with.
This spreader really is a pleasure to use. It's very smooth, very well built. The only drawback is it's kind of like cutting the grass with a push mower. You have to cover every inch of your lawn in order to fertilize or lay down seed. With the Scotts EdgeGuard Deluxe, it does a much better job of dispersing it so you don't have to walk the whole lawn, but it is not as smooth. It has those tiny little tires, and it's just, you feel very unstable, very unsteady pushing this thing like it's going to tip over. So not as pleasurable of an experience. And I already explained the problems with the wheels, so I won't go over that again. This is the Earthway 2050P, very smooth to operate, very enjoyable. It throws out, I would say just as far, maybe a little farther even than the Scotts. Probably not enough to be notable, but it's just much more stable. It has the larger wheels, much more stable design, a real pleasure, and I think it's going to be a real workhorse for years. So top rated spreader in my review is the Earthway 2050P, and it got 4.5 stars. I docked it a 1/2 star because it does not have a spring-loaded throat opening like the Scotts spreaders do. The low score went to the Scotts EdgeGuard broadcast spreader at 3 stars, and that was because the wheels fall off and the problem I described about the fertilizer getting stuck inside the tires. The classic drop spreader, I'm going to dock it 1 star, not because of functionality or design flaws, because I do think it's a flawless design, but only because you have to walk the entire lawn, which is just because of the type. It's a drop spreader, it's not a broadcast. Again, I'm just going to dock it a star because of the amount of effort that it takes.